Hey guys, welcome to Mythbusters. My name is Tarin, and this is the first video of a new segment called With Bytes, where we will make small bite sized videos to decode and demystify financial concepts and jargons for you. And in this video, we will be talking about inflation. You must have heard or read that inflation is defined as the rise in prices of goods and services, which is correct. But a more accurate definition, in my opinion, is that inflation is the drop in your purchasing power. Why is this definition more accurate? Because the second definition is more personal than the first one. Think about it. Rise in prices of goods does not matter as long as you can still afford them. It would matter though if you can afford them less and less over time, which is a drop in your purchasing power. Let us understand this with an example. It's the end of the year 2020. Suppose you have saved up 1 lakh rupees through this year because you were locked inside your homes with nowhere to spend your money, and you want to invest this money today to be richer tomorrow. You put the money in an FD or some investment instrument that gives you a very handsome 12% return for 10 years. Your FD matures 10 years later and your 1 lakh rupees is now 3 lakhs. Your money has grown 3 times, but are you 3 times richer? We don't know that yet. To find that out, let's assume that we live in a world where you can use this money only to buy Parle-G's, because who doesn't like Parle-G's? If a packet of Parle-G costs 10 rupees today, your 1 lakh can buy you 10,000 packets of Parle-G. 10 years later, you have 3 lakh rupees. But how much does a Parle-G cost 10 years later? If it costs 30 rupees, you will still be able to buy 10,000 packets. That means you are at the same level of richness as you were 10 years back. If it costs 50 rupees, you will be able to buy only 6,000 packets, which means you are actually poorer than you were 10 years ago. If it costs 20 rupees, you will be able to buy 15,000 packets. And only in this scenario are you actually richer than you were 10 years back. So what does this tell us? It tells us a couple of things. One, that how rich or how poor are you does not depend on how much money you have. It depends on how much stuff can that money buy. Secondly, it also tells us that the growth of your money over time in isolation is not enough. You have to measure that growth in comparison with the growth in prices of stuff you want to buy. You're getting richer by investing your money if and only if it is growing faster than the prices of stuff you want to buy with it. And this is where most of us make a blunder. We look at our money, our investments, and their growth in absolute terms, whereas it should be all relative to inflation. Let's do a quick real life analysis. The average yearly inflation rate in India over the last 10 years from 2010 to 2019 has been 7.2%, which means the prices of goods have been increasing by 7.2% per year on an average for the last 10 years. Now look at our investments in the last 10 years. It could be FD, it could be PPF, or real estate, or stocks, or bonds, or anything else. Find out what has been the percentage return on your investments and see if it is more than 7.2% or less. That is, if you have made money over the last 10 years or have you lost money. But the comparison is not over yet. There's another catch. Inflation or the rise in prices is not taxed, but our returns are. So your actual return after tax is actually lower than your on paper return. Depending on your income tax bracket and type of investment, you will get 10 to 30% less return from most of your investments. Let's assume 30% tax for simplicity. So if your investment has been giving you a 10% return and you are in the 30% tax bracket, you have been effectively making only 7%. Because you are barely keeping your money stable by keeping it in line with inflation. Anything below 10%, you have been losing money. Anything above 10%, you have been getting richer. We'll introduce two terms or jargons here that you might have heard around: nominal and real returns. As per the example we just discussed, your nominal return was 10%. It's the absolute return your investment gives you. But our real return is just 2.8%, which is 10% minus the 7.2% inflation, which means nominally or on paper or just in name, your money is growing by 10%, but really your money is just growing by 2.8%. And real return is what matters. Real return will be negative if your investment's return is lower than the inflation, which means you are losing money. So go back to your investments right now, see if they have been beating inflation, and if not, find out another investment product that does.